cats are not deaf. They hear you perfectly well sometimes. They even understand what you say. They just choose not to respond. But there are certain words that can instantly grab a cat's attention. The moment you say them, the ears go up, the head turns, and suddenly, the cat is fully awake. Sometimes they even run toward you. All because of a single familiar sound. And once you hear these 5 words, you might realize your cat understands you more than you think. Among all the words you say to your cat every day, its name is usually the one it recognizes the fastest. And the reason is simple. Your cat hears that name again and again. You say it when it's time to eat. You say it when you want to play. You say it when you pet them, or when you want their attention. After hearing it so many times, the cat's brain starts making a connection. That sound starts to mean one thing. This sound is about me. So when a cat hears its own name, the reaction can be subtle. An ear turns, the eyes shift, the head moves slightly, like it's thinking, "Did you call me?" In fact, a study in Japan found something interesting. Cats can actually tell the difference between their own name. In other words, sometimes even when a stranger says the name, they still recognize it, although their reaction is usually very subtle. The important thing is, cats don't need to understand the meaning of a name like humans do. They just learn a simple rule. When this sound appears, someone is talking to me. But the cat's name is not the word that makes them jump up the fastest. There is another word, a word that feels almost magical to a cat. And that word is coming next.
After their own name, the fastest words cats react to are usually about food. Say food, treat, or breakfast. And many cats will instantly pay attention. The ears go up, the head turns. Sometimes the cat even runs straight toward you. All because of one familiar word. The reason is very simple. Those words almost always come with a reward. The cat hears the word, and a few seconds later, food appears.
After enough repetition, the cat's brain makes a simple rule. This word means food. Eventually, the cat doesn't even need to see the bowl. Just hearing the word treat is already enough. And here's the really interesting part. For cats, not only words have meaning, certain sounds can become words too. Like the sound of a food bag opening, or a can lid popping. To a cat, those sounds are almost like magic spells. The moment they hear them, one message becomes very clear. Food time has arrived. But food isn't the only thing cats react strongly to. There is another group of words connected to emotion, and more importantly, to safety. Besides food words, many cats also recognize warning words. The most common one is simple, the word no. But for cats, the word itself is not the most important part. What really matters is how you say it. Cats respond best to a short, clear no, always said in the same tone. If one day you say "new" like a joke, and another day you shout or laugh while saying it, the cat cannot understand what that sound really means. But if you use the same signal every time, the cat's brain begins to make a connection. It hears the word no and understands this behavior must stop. For example, the cat jumps onto the table. You say no, then gently lift the cat down. After enough repetition, the cat learns the boundary. The important thing is this. Cats do not understand no like humans understand language. Instead, they read the emotion in your voice and the familiar consequence that follows. In other words, the cat is not afraid of the word itself. It is reading your attitude, your tone, your consistency. And this is why some people say no for years, but their cat still does whatever it wants, because the signal was never truly consistent. But the next group of words is very different. These words don't make cats stop. They make cats come closer, because they are connected to comfort and trust. Besides names and food words, Cats are also very good at recognizing words tied to daily routines. Words like toy, brush, or outside, because these words usually come right before something familiar happens. For example, imagine you always say toy before bringing out a toy. After enough repetition, the cat starts making a connection. The moment it hears the word toy, its whole mood changes. The head lifts, the eyes scan the room, and sometimes the cat runs straight toward you, because it knows playtime is about to begin. The same thing happens with the word brush. If you always say brush before grooming, your cat eventually learns the pattern. It understands the brushing ritual is coming. And for some cats, the word outside is even more exciting. Cats that sometimes go to the balcony or yard know this word well. The moment they hear it, they walk straight toward the door. All of this reveals something fascinating about cats. They don't understand words like a dictionary would. Instead, they are masters at prediction. A familiar sound leads to a familiar event. Sound leads to activity. Activity leads to emotion. So, in a way, you're not really teaching your cat vocabulary. You are teaching it routines. And that's why cats sometimes seem unpredictable in reality. They are just responding to patterns you created every day. Cats understand things in their own way. And sometimes, they understand you much more clearly than you think. They simply choose not to answer. Because after all, they are cats. Besides routine words, cats also react strongly to emotional sounds. But here is the real secret. For cats, tone matters more than the words themselves. When you speak in a warm, soft, familiar voice, words like come here, good boy, good girl, or even baby, can make a cat feel safe, and the reaction can be very clear. The cat comes closer. It rubs its head against you, or climbs onto your lap and begins to purr. Your cat may not understand the exact meaning of I love you, or even the phrase good boy, but it understands something more important, the emotion inside your voice. Because every time it hears that voice, good things usually happen. Petting, attention, play, or comfort. Over time, the cat learns a very simple rule. This voice means safety. This voice means comfort. This voice is good for me. That is why sometimes you call your cat and it ignores you. But other times, one soft sentence is enough. And suddenly, the cat walks right back to you. So in the end, cats don't understand human language the way we do. They are not analyzing vocabulary or grammar, but they are incredibly good at noticing patterns. First, they recognize familiar sounds, especially their own name. After hearing it again and again, that sound becomes impossible to ignore. Second, cats learn through repeated routines. Words like food, treat, toy, or outside. These sounds often appear right before something exciting happens, so the cat learns to predict what comes next. And third, cats read the emotion in your voice. A warm tone feels safe. A tense tone feels serious. Your voice tells them more than the words themselves. So sometimes when you think your cat doesn't understand you, it probably does. It already knows what is about to happen. And that's where the funny part begins. Because when a cat ignores you, it's usually not because it's confused. It's because the cat is making a decision. Is it worth responding or not? Now I'm curious about your cat. Which word makes your cat jump up the fastest? Treat, outside, or its own name? Tell me in the comments.